Hi, everyone. So we have something to tell you. We don't know how to sugarcoat it, so we're just going to dive right in.
It's time for us to grow up and get over ourselves. So we take ourselves far too seriously. We allow ourselves to get tied up in things that are insignificant in the grand scheme of life. So a person cuts us off on the highway, ruins our whole day, or someone cuts us off in the line at for lunch and we curse them on their way out. We get upset with our partner for not doing the trash or wiping off the countertop. Our lazy coworker who is getting under our skin because they're doing better than us. But remember, we can't change anyone but ourselves. We can live a life where other people will dictate our feelings, or we can take control. A person starts to live when they can live outside of themselves and they can have that control in their life. So here's a piece of humble pie. Let's eat it and let's get over ourselves.
I love it. So we are going to share 3 things that me and Hayley tell ourselves all of the time, and let us know if you relate. Yeah, lies that we tell ourselves. So my lie is that I'm not as far as I should be. I unrealistically expect to be an overnight success. So in these moments, I start to question myself. I question if I'm on the right path. I know in my heart that I'm supposed to do something. I know exactly where I'm supposed to be, but I question it because there's that lie that I should be farther along, that I should be a success by now.
Mm-hmm.
We compare ourselves to other people and to other businesses. I remember having a really, really rough day. I was driving on the road. And then I stopped at a stoplight, and I saw a girl that I knew pass me by in a BMW or a Mercedes. I can't remember what she was driving, and I lost it. I really lost it. I was like, why am I not there yet? Why do I not have a BMW? Why? And it's just like, it's so crazy. It was so unrealistic.
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy now saying it, but I literally lost it because I want those things. Of course I desire those things. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
But to compare myself to someone else that's on a different path than me is absolutely ridiculous. And I needed to get over myself in that moment and that day.
Question, Karissa. So when you have those feelings and you're upset, or you think like, God, why am I not as far as her? What comes after that? So what feelings then do you portray onto yourself?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I get frustrated. I get angry. I get really sad because in my heart, I know I want these things for myself. And a lot of times it's like this deep, deep pain. Because when I compare myself to somebody else's business or somebody else's life that's doing something that I want to be at, I get a lot of pain because I know in my heart, I know that I'm supposed to be doing that same thing or something similar to what they're doing, yet it's not working for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's okay. I mean, I'm just not there yet. I'm not on their journey, and I have to bring myself back to that, but it's hard to do that in that moment.
Like, totally. That makes sense.
And when that happens, literally my faith totally goes out the window. My thoughts run crazy in my head. And in those moments I need to take control, but I'm not. I'm just going with the craziness.
Right. That sounds about right. I think we all kind of have moments like that too, where we just feel out of our own control and we just can't control that. So, and I remember too, I had a similar experience to your story that you mentioned, where I was looking on Facebook and saw, somebody that I used to know years ago, who posted their house for sale on the internet. And I, snoopy as I can be, of course, needed to look at it. And it was the most beautiful house, exactly in the location I want to be in. And I was like, oh my gosh, how is this person have what I want?
Right.
So soon we're going to talk about how to combat those feelings and the different things that we do to get over ourselves. So anything else you wanted to add to yours, Karissa?
No.
Okay.
Your lie.
Perfect. So my lie is I don't look like her and I'm not where I should be as far as my weight or appearance goes. So
the big one.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
Every girl feels that way. I mean, they have to.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think there's something to be said about the pursuit of perfection in this realm, and the fact that everywhere around us, people are telling us how we should be, what we should look like, what attributes should be our best attributes.
Yeah.
And actually, I think society and media actually compares us to other people for us. You know, you're not as good looking as them. And it definitely encourages that behavior of, you're not where you should be. So I know that personally, I know that I've struggled with my appearance for years. I know, Karissa, you've talked about struggling with your appearance for years.
For sure.
And, I think too, we have these unrealistic, it's not even just comparing, but unrealistic comparisons that end up letting ourselves down and making us feel like, we're not worthy. Yeah. I feel like it's not fun to realize that you're not as good looking as maybe some of your misleading profile pictures might suggest, or maybe that unrealistic weight that you put on your driver's license.
Yep.
I think that all of us can relate to that maybe a little bit. So even the people who you'd consider the most beautiful, they have moments when they're insecure or realize that they have imperfections as well. And I think understanding that and coming to the understanding that, like, hey, we all feel this way. It's not just because I feel this way, but everyone goes through this and everyone feels this way. It makes it a little bit smaller in the grand scheme of things, I think. Beauty is fleeting as well. So I think we need to be easier on each other and be easier on ourselves, because there will come a time when we're old and wrinkled and we won't give two craps about our appearance or our weight. Our only focus will be trying to remember, not to swallow our dentures during breakfast. Something along those lines. So that's mine.
I love it. The third lie that we both tell ourselves, and I think a lot of other people do too, is the lie that her life is so perfect and mine's not. And this really ties into both of the other lies that we tell ourselves. But I think we can tackle this together. But we totally compare ourselves to absolutely everything. Like Hayley said, the Facebook profiles, the Instagram photos that are literally perfect, and the feed, the feed going down and how it's laid out so perfectly.
Yep.
Her perfect body, literally everything we compare ourselves.
Yeah. I feel like too, we think that in terms of business, we think other people are out there already doing what we're doing, or they're doing it better. So for example, there might be other hairstylists who have better photos, or bloggers with more followers, or other coaches in our case who are already doing what we're doing and they're already established. Yeah. So we may feel like, well, what's the point? These people are better than us. But that other person has gifts and abilities that I just don't have.
Right.
And I need to remember that we each have our own journey and our own story, and that other person didn't live the life I've lived and I haven't lived their life. They're not going to be able to impact a person the way I might be able to. And only I, or only you, have the strength and the power to reach people in ways that others can't. And I think remembering that gives us a little dose of reality.
They have a totally different blueprint than you. And you have, when you're in that moment and you're going crazy in your mind about how they are so perfect and their business is so perfect, remember, they are not on the same path as you.
Yes, I love that. Can I just throw in a quick impromptu one that I was just thinking about, that I think everyone's really going to relate to? It's, I don't know what I'm doing as far as being a mom goes, and other people have it together. I think that we've talked about this before in our Messy Mom Jeans videos, but I think there's something to be said about the fact that we all feel like we don't know what we're doing. And again, all of these lies relate to each other, but being a mom is hard. I mean, if I swore, I'd say it's hard as X, because it is just... it's the hardest thing that I think we can agree that we've ever done. And, it's easy to look at someone else and say, publicly or on Facebook or social media, or even when we're with them, like, they've got it together. They know what they're doing. They're that super mom that, can do everything all at once and still be home to make a fresh home cooked dinner. Yeah. But I think understanding that they feel the same way we feel, even though it may not appear that way to public. They probably go through the same struggles we do, and maybe even different ones that we don't struggle with. And so understanding that we're all on this journey together, we're all going through this together, and everyone feels that same way that you do in this case.
Yeah. That's
anything you want to add to that?
So true. Not so much that, but I want to talk about our belief system. So a lot of times this is like a hardcore belief system in us that we are never going to measure up to that other person, that that person who has it all. Remember the girl in high school who was perfect with the perfect body and popular with all the best friends, or the salesperson on your team that is the top and is always the top, and you're never going to measure up. Remember that you can have those things too, but you're going to have them in a different way than that person. Yes. You're not exactly the same person. And if you're in high school, like, know that those friends are going to change in college. Those friends are going to change in your 20s and in your 30s. And you're going to have your own set of people throughout life. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if somebody else is more popular or more perfect than you.
Yeah. In the moment, it can feel like that's the most important thing that's happening in your life.
Right.
But taking a step back and being able to understand, like, this is only a moment in time. It's temporary. There's so many more important things in life. And realizing, like, number one, unfortunately, like, it's not all about you. And you just have to, like, try and grasp that concept, as hard as it may be for us sometimes, because as humans, I feel like we're selfish beings. But, like, again, it's not all about you. There's so many bigger, more important things in
life. That's so true. So we want to talk about some ways that you can get over yourself and that we can get over ourselves.
Yeah.
So point number one is our belief system. Change that belief system. Believe that you can have those things, your heart's desires, and that they will come to pass in your own way.
Mm-hmm. Love that. So point number two, fake it till you make it. So, when you're feeling down, you're feeling crappy, you're comparing yourself to other people, or you're feeling like you're not good enough or you're not measuring up, smile, put on a smile, laugh a little bit, breathe, take some time to really focus on your breathing, meditate, do something that's going to disengage that thought process for a while and refocus your energy on something that's going to be positive. And before you know it, you actually might be happy and you might be laughing, and it's going to get you out of your funk a little bit.
Yeah. Point number three, focus on your bigger picture and your goals, whether it's in business or in life. Focus on who you want to be. Focus on whatever that goal is and how long it's going to take. Maybe you're not an overnight success, and it's a process that needs to happen. It's a journey that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Remember that you're not where you used to be, and
it's big.
You're not yet where you want to be, but you're on your journey and you're getting there, and you will get there.
Yes. Note on that one too, when you're thinking about the fact of your journey and your process, remind yourself of the steps that you took to get to where you are today. Even though you're not where you want to be yet, think of the progress that you've made. Physically call out. I want you to speak the words of the things that you've done that's been awesome. So you've accomplished this goal, or you've reached this goal, or you've taken these steps. Physically say them, because when you actually speak those words into life, it's going to feel better. It's going to make you feel like you've accomplished something.
Right. Yeah. And see yourself doing it. Like, envision yourself being there, even though you're not naturally. Envision yourself being there.
Yes. I love that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. So number 4, focus on who you're serving. So for us, it's easy for us to get out of our funk very quickly because we focus on who we're serving. We focus on our ultimate goal. Our goal is people. It's you guys. Our goal is to help change or make an impact or speak to one person. If we only ever speak to one person, everything that we do is worth it if it helps them get through something they're going through. That's the goal. So focus. What's your who, or who are you focusing on, or who are you doing this for? Is it for your family? Is it for yourself? Is it for your clients? Is it for the lifestyle that you envision? Who and what are you doing it for?
Yep. And number 5 is focus on your victories so far. I just recently started a victory log where I have put down every single victory in my life, everything I've gone through that once was hard and I got through it, or a goal that I accomplished, and do something
like that.
Yeah, just start writing down everything. And then when you're in that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, and you're having all that self-pity and you need to get over yourself, go read that list. And just remember all the wonderful things that you have been through and all the victories and the goals that you did accomplish.
Oh, I love that. That's such a good idea. So point number 6, learn to love where you're at and the process. So understand too, like, I feel like nothing is worth it unless it's actually worth it, you know? And that journey and that process, I feel like makes it worth it. If I was just handed everything that I've ever wanted, I'm not going to appreciate the process it took to get there.
Right.
So really enjoy the journey that you're on, enjoy the stage in life that you're in. And it may be a hard stage. It may be one that you question why you're in, or you have a lot of struggles in that journey. I know, for example, I had a lot of struggles as a new mom, and learning to enjoy that journey and that stage in my life was hard for me. But ultimately, it taught me tools that I wouldn't know how to use and wouldn't adequately be able to use now if I hadn't gone through that process. And I think the same thing goes with business and with marriage and with family and with, you know, everything like that. I think there's always that journey that you're on. Learning to enjoy where you're at in the process and stay focused on what your goals are is, you know, the ultimate to do.
Yes. I totally can relate to the mom part. Like, I remember my kids were little and it was so much work and I had to get everybody out of bed and get the house going. And it's like, I just want them to be older. And now that they're older and easy. You
want them young again.
Yeah, I want them young again. I want the cute, you know, the cute words that they say, and I want to get somebody dressed, you know? So, and then point number 7 is focus on self-care. Take care of yourself. Do things for yourself once in a while. Give yourself a break and breathe. Make it a point every single morning. Okay, I'm going to take care of myself, and all that I'm doing, I know that if I show up for myself first, I can show up better for everybody else. I can show up better at work. I can show up better in my business. So take care of yourself, whether it's working out, eating healthy, getting a massage, all the things you know to do that work for you, go do those things.
Yes, absolutely. Number 8, speak it out. So every day we want you to speak words of affirmation. If you hear anything from us, you probably hear this quite often. Speaking out words of affirmation. We love it. We live by it. It's something that we suggest everyone do because it just helps change the energy and just everything, your mood, your focus. So every day, what's something positive that you can say about yourself, about your family, about your work, about where you're at in life? Speak those.
Yeah. And then tip number 9 is give yourself a break. If you are feeling like I was at the stoplight where I just lost it because somebody was farther along than me, sing at the top of your lungs. Like, in that moment, I could have put on my jamming song that I love and started singing at the top of my lungs, having fun. Sometimes I'll even say, like, stop it, Karissa. Like, in that moment, I'll just tell myself to stop thinking that way. Dance with your kids. I dance around the house when I had a workout the other morning, and the kids were literally, they said mommy 20 times during my workout, and I was so frustrated. So afterwards, to get out of that funk that I was in that frustrated mood, I turned on some music and I started dancing around the house, having fun, and it totally lifted all that frustration off of me, and I had so much fun. It helps you to get out of your head and stop being so serious and stop those icky thoughts.
Totally. So number 10, perception is projection. So what you focus on is what you get. So start focusing on the positives that you want. Focus on the outcome that you envision, of course, before you get that crazy. So try and refocus yourself, and it will in turn refocus yourself.
Yeah. And the last one is give yourself grace. This is huge. allow yourself to make mistakes. It's okay. And failure is not failure. It's something that you can learn. So
Yes.
learn and grow from. So just give yourself grace in every single moment. You have the grace for every single day. So live into that.
Yes, absolutely. So we just want to thank you guys for watching. Let us know if you have any questions, or if you agree with this, or if you've got other tips that you guys use, we're always interested to hear those. But we hope that this is helping you guys get over yourselves today and the rest of this week. So have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.